You're listening to the Business and Life Podcast, where 7 days a week, proven entrepreneurs share their success stories, failures, and give you true value on how you can build a great business and an awesome life. With your host, Mike Olivas.
All right, Brandon, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and also where you're calling in from.
Yeah. So about me, I'm a kid from a small town of Garnerville, Iowa, 700 people that literally has no grocery store. I grew up in a small town, and then I grew up in an ice business. My dad sold packaged ice for a living, so I learned how to sell frozen water to Eskimos. Literally, no, not really, but no. So I learned how to sell ice, and I got into sales, and then from there, I went to college. I wasn't the best in college. In my first year, I got a 1.68 GPA. I got kicked out of the dorms before school's even done because of fighting. Let's just say I was alcoholic, and I really didn't know where I was going. Where my life changed, I read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Yes.
And once I read that book, the rest was history. Like, I knew that anything's possible if you put your mind to it. And the big thing is really just not quitting until you get what you want, having a clear goal and vision of what you want, and just going with it. I mean, just keep going. If you keep going, you're going to get whatever the fuck you want in life. And so that's what I did.
Awesome. I still give that book out to people that I know are that come to me or ask for advice, and I know are pretty darn inspired, that might need to still build the foundation of their life first. And that book is amazing. If you haven't read it, or if you have read it, read it again, because I think I've read it at least a dozen times. So very cool. So I have some buddies from Marshalltown and Coon Rapids, Iowa.
You got to be kidding me. I had a roommate, Sean Bowers from Marshalltown, Iowa.
Yeah. They're all, I went to University of Iowa game recently. I didn't go to the school there, but my buddies, they're such diehard Hawkeye fans. I call them Chicken Hawks.
Me too.
They're such
I'm a Hawkeye fan.
Yeah. So I told them, like, hey, let's go. He wanted me to go check out, I call them the Chicken Hawks. So let's go check out the Chicken Hawks one year. And so we went to a football game, and Iowa City's a blast. Let's just say that for sure. But there's way too many bars in one small area. That's for sure. So let's talk a little bit about your business. Tell us what Success in Your City is, and what it kind of brings to the marketplace, what kind of the value of it is.
Yeah. So I got into video, and that came from crowdfunding. I've done some of the largest crowdfunding campaigns in history, and that led me to getting into video, because crowdfunding, one component of raising money is having a great video.
Yeah.
So I started doing more video. I did my own video production, and ended up going and producing 3 different TV shows. But I really enjoyed it, because video is the best way to tell a story. It's the best way to portray your message to people to see it. When you look on social media, you have a text, you have a picture post, you have a video. Which one are you going to look at more likely? More likely video. So video right now is huge. I saw where the trend was going. 2017, I started the company Accelerate Media Group. We started filming with clients and also helping people with creating video. And then in 2018, I made the huge leap to sell everything and travel the country and film a TV series called Success in Your City. So we filmed the show, and we put on events in different cities where we did masterminds and fundraisers. And then about a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago, we released the first episode of our show on Amazon Prime. And we also just released our book, The Road to Success. So my wife and I are the hosts. She's way better looking than me. She is the talent. So Success in Your City is a show that inspires, motivates, and educates others. And what I do is I help people with creating video content for their business, because I believe it's the best way to reach the most people, to get seen. Whatever you do, I don't care what you do, video will help you enhance what you're doing, help you get more seen by more people, help you generate more revenue, and open up more opportunities. And I haven't just had an experience in my life. I've helped hundreds of people do it themselves.
That's awesome. So tell us again, when did you start Success in Your City?
Yeah. So Success in Your City started, the idea came about June of 2017 on a beach in Puerto Rico, having some pina coladas.
That's why I'm looking at the beach of Puerto Rico as we speak.
Oh man, that's where you're at?
Yeah, I live in San Juan, Puerto Rico, right on the water here in Condado on San Juan Ocean Park Beach. And,
nice.
Very cool. So you were in Puerto Rico, and the idea just kind of popped in your head.
Yeah, it popped in my head. It's Sam and I are, hey, what's going to happen next? And I saw an article by Mark Cuban, live in 5 cities before you're 25. I said, why don't we live in 12 cities next year in 12 months and film a show on it? And we pursued it. We ended up living in 6. And so we hit half of our goal.
Which one did you like best?
Nashville, Tennessee was my favorite.
Nice. Yeah.
I mean, Austin, Texas was good. They're all amazing, but Nashville, Tennessee was I loved it there.
Yeah.
I will eventually move there. But Puerto Rico is good too. My buddy John, if you know John Lee Dumas, he's there. He's got a cool place.
Yeah, John was my podcast coach.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We filmed with him for the Mastery Journal there. If you ever been to his house, and he's got an epic view. We challenged. So that morning he took us. We ran his mountain, and he beat me. I hate losing, but dude, his mountain is a beast to run up.
Yeah.
And we filmed it with a drone and everything.
Yeah, no, Puerto Rico's an awesome place. We all came out here obviously for the tax incentive, which is insane. So I just moved here. I was a half year. This will be airing in 2020. So by the time people hear this, I've probably been here close to about a little over 7 months. But yeah, awesome, exciting, and there's a lot of just cool entrepreneurial spirit out here because of that tax act breakdown.
Yeah.
A lot of people come out here that are just kind of just a little bit forward thinkers, but it's exciting. So tell us a little bit about what you're excited about personally in your type of industry, your business right now.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, looking at general everything, I'm excited to see where technology goes with the power of video and online social media. It's changing rapidly. I think there's huge opportunity for entrepreneurs and motivated people to have a lot of success by utilizing the power of video. And I'm talking, you don't have to have like a high-end camera and go create a TV show. Not everybody's going to go do that.
Right.
Use the iPhone, go and film content, share who you are, what you do, how you can help people, and publish on the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all these different platforms, and just show the world who you are. And there's a huge opportunity for you to reach thousands or even millions of people for little to no cost. And right now is the best way to get in, video. And again, whatever it is you're doing, obviously to succeed with it, you have to make money. You have to be seen. Video is the best way to do it. So I'm curious to see how it all turns out in 2020, 2021, and moving forward with high-level content with Netflix, Facebook Watch, Amazon. I mean, content's everything. The platforms want it, and there's a lot of money to be made there. So I learned that 5 years ago, and that's when I jumped in and put in about $500,000 in video content, and I think everybody should. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I think that the video medium is definitely something. Like, for example, we're on Zoom right now, right? And we get a chance to see each other, and this is a technology that was just they created a much less is more type of angle where it's simple. You click a button and this thing separates audio, and I send it over to editing.
It's amazing. It's
done. Like, I don't even touch it when we're done. It just automatically records. It goes into the G drive and they run with it from there, and we're going to post it. So, but it's also, this is a podcast, right? But a podcast isn't video. We know that's audio, but why would I not repurpose that from a holistic approach?
Exactly.
It's just a no-brainer. And so a lot of people don't. Like, I know John doesn't, a lot of people don't. It's okay. They do some different angles of video, but it's a no-brainer. It gives me a different outlet. If somebody wants to see our radio faces right now, that's cool. Like, let them jump on and check us out.
If they don't, whatever. You got two platforms. You got the podcast, you got the video side.
Sure. Yeah. There's an audio angle. Obviously that's always going to be, I think that will probably win the podcast game because that's what it is. It's an audio, but in reality, if people want to get a chance, or maybe at some point, the listeners will want to say, who is Mike, right? Or they want to see, like, who are the people that he's talking to? What do they look like? And I think that's going to give them that angle to see Mike and Brandon on a quick, interview show. So tell us a little bit about what you think, in terms of, I'll backtrack this, your entrepreneurship journey here. We have the listeners that are aspiring or also entrepreneurs of successful companies. And you've gone through a couple of them, it sounds like, right? You've done a couple of them, and you had some really big success in the crowdfunding thing, which is awesome. Give us a time where you felt you've hit rock bottom, Brandon, and been able to kind of overcome that. Life Nation, we're all striving towards different goals. Maybe your goal is to finally quit the 8 to 5 grind, quit your job, or take the next step with your existing business. Whatever the goal may be, regardless of your reasons, if you are serious about taking the next step and finally trying to build the life that you deserve, the life that you want to live, take the leap of faith. Go to michaelolivas.com and let's discuss your goals and life. It's 100% free. There's no obligation. It's michaelolivas.com. Schedule a quick call. I'd love to help.
Yeah, I almost had to file bankruptcy.
Wow.
I mean, I've made millions. I've lost a lot of money. I made a lot of money. I've seen the ups and downs, and I'm only 29. I still got a lot to go. But I'll tell you, what I've learned in rock bottom is that you learn something about yourself that, I mean, you can only experience it once you hit rock bottom. I'm sure you've experienced it as a successful entrepreneur.
Sure.
But rock bottom, it teaches you a lot. It's when you're, as a human, forced to figure out how to solve a problem when you have no other choice, you figure it out, and you're forced to figure out things in a different way. It was Steve Jobs and Wozniak, when they had to create Apple, like they didn't have much money. So they were forced to use, I think, one chip or something versus the other company had like 20. And when they were forced to figure that out, they were forced to do it, and they figured it out, and they made it less expensive and vice versa. So your disadvantage or your temporary like setback can actually be towards your advantage if you look at it that way. And so for me, in 2014, when I had a huge setback, I was going to start a company, had all this money lined up. I turned it down. I went from like getting $750,000 for investment and going to start this product development company to turning it down, not going for it, and wondering how I was going to pay rent. In that moment, that's when I turned to crowdfunding. And then that's when I got into becoming a crowdfunding expert. And that's when I got into podcasting and then creating my own TV show. So if that failure wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't be where I am today. So look at failure as a success in disguise. And also, I guess another tip is when you're doing something, make sure it's profitable. You can generate a lot of money. You can bring in millions of dollars. But if you're bringing millions of dollars and you're spending millions of dollars and you have no profit, then what the fuck? Like, you have no business.
Right.
So you got to profit.
You might just be cash flowing or something, right?
Cash flow, profit first. But those are my thoughts. And just keep going, because you'll find out you're going to be tested in the business, especially if you're going after big things. You're going to be tested. It's not easy. But if you keep going and you really leverage the people that are experts in different areas, you can go far.
Why do you think there's guys out there and girls out there that, or businesses in general, that fail?
They don't have the grit. They don't have the perseverance. They're surrounded by the wrong people. That's a huge component. You could be around. I don't go home very much in my small town. It's not very like positive. They don't understand this world. But I'll tell you, if you're not around people that are going to support you and push you forward, if you're around people that are going to be like, hey, just throw in the towel or just go get a job or whatever, you won't succeed. So like that is a huge component. Who you surround yourself with is who you become.
What kind of, let's say, you've built some really cool businesses, and also it sounds like the funding aspect of it. Would you recommend someone out there that wants to get started? I know that's just very, very like up in the air in terms of, or like it's very situational on what kind of business is starting, but would you recommend someone getting financing or just trying to find a way to bootstrap it?
Bootstrap it. I will say that all day. From the one business I had, I ended up buying the family business, the ice business for my father 5 years ago. I recently sold it 10 months ago. I've sold 2 businesses in 10, 12, 15 months. But I will tell you, if I learned from doing loans, from doing the crowdfunding aspect, from all the different, taking on debt, I will tell you, from my advice, from my experiences, bootstrap, bootstrap, bootstrap. I'm not the guy that's for the raising capital. There's certain instances that I believe it's necessary, but I would much rather take a longer time to just build it organically and do it just from your own sweat, equity, and time and your own money versus going out and taking money from other people. Because when you do that, there's other strings attached. And that's the way I would go.
And I'm glad you said that, by the way. I'm surprised to hear that coming from the crowdfunding, from like a crowdfunding expert, right? But I love to hear, because I say that, right? And that's why I asked that lightly. And then I'm going to jump in and say yes. Or I was going to go back and say, well, what about this? Because I think that just because I bootstrapped all my companies as well, but when it comes down to understanding the time and effort that you're still going to have to put into getting funding, could likely, that sweat equity could go right into true equity. Am I wrong?
It really is.
Really
even look at the crowdfunding aspect. So for what I did, reward-based crowdfunding, we were raising money from the crowd when we would use that money to create the product. So if we didn't get enough money, then we didn't create it. So it's like, is there a demand? As an inventor, I invented a product I don't know how many years ago, 6 years ago, called Arctic Stick. I spent $100,000, got a patent, trademark, everything, and launched. And I didn't make more than 10 grand. But I'll tell you, that led me to other things. But learning from it, make sure there's a demand. So what I've learned is have somebody buy it before you make it. Have somebody demand it before you go all out. People spend so much time trying to create something, and they find out nobody wants it. So learn where money's coming. There's a sign. Okay, like, hey, if there's money coming, there must be value and demand for this.
Right. That's a good point. And success leaves clues. Being able to see other people that are in that industry and kind of taking some of those same Same with John. Like I'm very, very much similar to the format. He knows that I know it. And I asked him a powerful question in the past, which was, we were on a video call and I was back in California at the time. And I said, what would you do differently for John Lee Dumas? And who does one of the most, like let's say top 5 for sure entrepreneur podcasts in the world. And I would stick to 7 days a week. So I'm doing 7 days a week. So that's what I'm doing. It takes a lot of time and effort. I'm doing 20 podcasts a day. I'm on my feet from 9 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. back to back. And I just have little almonds here that I'm snacking on, but that's really all I have time for. Right. And so it's understanding that what is your kind of your goal setting from your business, but can you get there without funding? The likelihood is yes. There's so many ways to bootstrap these days with technologies and Upworks and Fiverrs of the world, and it's not going to be fun. That's sometimes, and you're not going to get a lot of quality, but you're going to get where you need to get. You're going to learn, get better people, and keep moving forward. So tell us a little bit about all of your successes and your failures in business. Brandon, what is the one piece of parting advice that you'd give to the Business and Life Nation out there today?
Yeah, parting advice. I'll say success is what you make it. Our whole journey for our show is to change the way people view success. I mean, success is what you make it, whether that's making money or a relationship or your goal. Don't get swayed by society, because online it's all like, hey, whatever they treat, like they have the cars, whatever. That's nice. But like, just because that's what they believe is success, it doesn't mean that that's what you have success. I've limited everything. I've sold businesses, took away the overhead, sold vehicles, sold everything, like everything. And so I feel amazing. I love that. And I enjoy not having shit to worry about. But again, just think about what is success to you. Yeah. Once you figure out what that is, find a plan, create a strategic plan that will make money and help you achieve that goal, and surround yourself with the right people in the process. And also never give up, because you're going to be tested. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take way longer than you think. But if you keep going, you're going to achieve whatever you want in life. And it goes back to Think and Grow Rich. If I'm going to leave you best advice, go read that book. That book will literally be the Bible to your success.
How do you think people can, if they're listening to this, that don't know how to measure their success, what kind of advice would you give them?
They don't know how to measure. I mean, how do you measure? You measure by doing shit. So many fucking people sit and watch. They talk about something. They don't do anything. Why have I seen success in, I guess, my version in different areas? Is because I took action. I failed a lot. I lost a lot of money. Relationship. Like I went through so much. And the only way you can really measure is by doing. I track. Before we did this call, I spent literally 25 minutes. I created 25 personal videos that I'll send out to potential leads. And they're personal videos. It took me 25 minutes. I bashed it. I was committed and doing the things that you don't want to do. Like write it down and just do it. Don't think about it. Do. That's the biggest thing. Do. See what went right, what went wrong. Yep. You broke things in the process, and then focus in the good areas and learn from it.
Business and life. I think that's a great just knowledge bomb. And I appreciate that, Brandon, because knowledge is not power, action is, right? Massive action, taking the actual action to do it, right? 25 videos. I say this to my employees and salespeople, and I do it too. Just personal videos. There's awesome technology out there. Like, what's up, Jason? Thanks for coming to the website. Hey, thanks for jumping in. Like that kind of stuff shows personality, and doing things that you don't want to do will turn into some really awesome ROI down the road. And you get more and more comfortable. I suck at being in front of the camera. Well, I sucked at podcasting for a while, and I just was talking over people. And so that you're going to get better at it. So go out there and make sure that you're making an impact and you're making yourself uncomfortable. And then of course, sticking to the game. So again, Brandon, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate you dropping all that information for us.
Yeah, thank you.
Where can people find you? Yeah,
you can find me all social media. Brandon T. Adams is my handle. Reach out to me, connect. Instagram is my favorite place. And then also, if you want to check out our show, get a copy of our book, The Road to Success. And then you can see my wife, who's an amazing co-host as well. Go to successinyourcity.com. Check it all out there.
I'll definitely be sure to do that myself. That sounds awesome. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Life Nation, you got to remember that in order for things to change, you must change. And in order for things to get better, you must get better. You just got better by hanging out with me, Michael Libas, and the Business and Life Nation. So come back tomorrow, because I'm here dropping sound bombs 7 days a week, baby. If you'd like to subscribe, please do, so you can take action and execute. See you tomorrow.